I really do believe the best players of all time have always had a Trackman. I think Ben Hogan had one, I think Jack Nicklaus had one, I think Nick Faldo had one, and they had one up here and they had one here. Well, now we've all got one, and I've talked to numerous good teachers I really respect about this. I think it's going to accelerate the level of golf around the world, and I bet there's some kid in Korea or Alabama or Croydon, England, there's some kid somewhere who's growing up with a Trackman and he's understanding path and face and launch angle and starting direction, and he's 12 now, and by the time he's 22 he's going to be the best ball striker we've ever seen. I think that's what Trackman's going to do for the game of golf. I've incorporated using the Trackman on my lesson for two reasons really, probably more than two, but certainly these two. To give people the feedback they need to make the changes they need. When someone's swinging too much, shall we say too much to the right, too much into out, when the path is too much to the right at contact and they're not aware of it, it puts a number on it, so it helps them change it. I use it more as a teaching tool than I do a club fitting tool. The second way I use it, and it's changed my teaching, is it shows people that the ball is starting to the right of the target line or the left of the target line, and it is spinning to the left or the right, even though they may not be able to see it. For me, the Trackman's Performance Studio is fantastic. I mean, every version so far has been good, but for me, the Performance Studio that's the one I've really wanted and pushed you boys to build, and you have done. That I can isolate one of the 21 parameters. We can either work just on where the ball's starting or just on how the ball's spinning, or, I mean, I love, for the better player, I actually love just putting up two numbers, start direction and spin axis, and just say, well, I've got a good idea. If you're going to start it to the right, it better be spinning to the left. If you're going to start it to the left, it better be spinning to the right. One of the things that's been an absolute maybe the most important thing I learned from the Trackman was that to hit a draw that finished on target, the club face has to be to the right of the target at impact to be open. And you know, the path is just more to the right. And to hit a fade, the club face has to be close to the target line at impact, a fade that finishes on target. And if you told me that 10 years ago, I would have said you're completely bonkers. And when I just hadn't quite made my mind up whether I was going to buy the Trackman or not, I went over to the Bears Club, Jack Nicklaus's club. You know the boys over there as you do. And I messed with it a bit and I said, have you got Jack's numbers? And they said, yes, we have. I said, I would like to see them. And all Jack's club face numbers were, as I would expect them to be, slightly closed. His club face numbers were close to the target line, because Nicklaus's shot his whole life has been a wee bit of a fade. Now, how much closed? Well, I think his probably face was 1 degree left, path was 3 degrees left. My preference for most club players would be start direction 1 or 2 degrees right of the target, spin axis probably -6, -8, putting a touch of draw on it, swing path positive about 3 to the right, club face positive 1 to the right. And when I can go positive, negative, positive, positive, it doesn't take long, even for ladies who don't play much golf, they can get the teeth around that. So I think it's terrific. You can look at all 21 parameters if you choose to at a given time. I don't do that. And then you've got the video integration, which is terrific.